trick or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fucking where my mask at. Then mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side Dannon shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation.
Tonight is the night. Been a while. I've been doing my homework on this man. Finally got him. We finally got him. I got this interview with not only the Chill himself, but Mr. 16 to Life himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself and, give a little bit information about yourself to the people and let them know, why we even started this interview. Why I even dug up some information about you, how, why you on YouTube doing your thing, how actually your name is popping, go ahead and let them know real quick.
Hey, well, first and foremost, man, I'd like to thank you for reaching out to me, man. I really appreciate it. My name is Chill. My YouTube name is 16 to Life due to a sentence that I got sentenced to in 1994. I was sentenced to 16 years to life. I'm from California. I ended up serving 24 years. And so basically that, that's why I go by it. Like I said, my name is Chill, but due to the fact that, initially I started rapping, but it's several rappers already with the name of Chill. So I end up just picking 16 to Life.
Nice. Okay. So like I said, I did, do my homework, of course, because I definitely look up to you, and I be checking your stories out on YouTube and checking the music out. I definitely rock with it. And I actually found you on YouTube. I was rolling through my stories one day, going through my videos, and one of your videos how popped up. The very first video I seen of you, it was your celly had snitched on you part 2. I didn't see the part 1. It was part 2, the first one I ever seen, and I had started watching it, and I was like, okay, I like this man. So I went ahead and actually did my research on you. And I do know a couple things about you. I do know you from a small town from Riverside County, and you was raised up in there like 1971, correct?
Oh yeah, I was born in 71. Yep.
Okay. You got a brother. You got one brother, correct? Named William, I believe.
Yeah, I got an older brother. Yep.
Okay. You got one brother named William. Absolutely. And I do know around 14, around 86, 87, you jumped off the porch, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. You want to go ahead and let us know how that experience was or whatnot, how that transition of your life went?
Well, I think now that I look back on it, I think sometimes, man, we jump off the porch before we even realize it. It wasn't like a decision. That's just basically when I just started hanging out. Mom started giving me a little bit more freedom. I can stay out a little later. I don't have, now I can come in at 1 or 2 or whatever. And so, I just started hitting the streets, man. Me and the homies hanging out. And one day we hanging out playing basketball. It seemed like the next day we look up, we selling dope. So, like I said, it was never just like a conscious decision. It was just, a transition, man.
Okay. So what were some of the influences or, maybe I'm going to say monkey see, monkey do type thing that kind of wants you to, jump off the porch and, become part of the actual street life or whatnot?
Well, like I say, once again, just hanging out, man. I had an older cousin, James. He was selling drugs. I had another homie, Scotty Ware, who rest in peace. He was selling drugs and just hanging with these dudes. Them two dudes, they was, they had already been to placement homes and juveniles, juvenile hall. They was going in houses. I was too scared to go in somebody's house, but so we out hanging around, and they had back then they would have the cocaine, the crack in like a little a film bottle that that the photos came in, the development bottle, and they had it in there, and so I'm hanging with them, seeing them serve dope. And like I say, it just, we made a transition into doing that, by watching them and a couple of other dudes.
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't really like, it wasn't trying to push you into it. You just like looked up to it and was like, yeah, I could do that. That's something I want to do. I want to have money or whatnot. I want to be like them.
Right. They hanging out, man, getting money. So I want to get a little money too. So basically, yeah, I just, followed in their footsteps.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely, especially at the age or whatnot, that's when your mind is really developing and, you really don't know, which way to go or whatnot. And of course, was there a father in the house?
Yeah and no. My father, while he wasn't in the house per se, he lived right around the corner from me, maybe about 5 minutes. So him and my mom, they was together and on and off ever since I was like 3-4 years old. So the times that he wasn't right there in the house, you know, he was right around the corner, maybe like a 5 minute, maybe a 5 minute car drive, maybe 15-minute walk, you know, 15,
Okay.
20-minute walk.
Okay. He was always there, like in case you need to talk to him, you know, whatever, going through some things, and you holler at him or whatnot.
Yeah,
He
well,
was always available.
he was there, he was available, but he was one of them fathers from down south, and so we never really
Okay.
had the talks about baseball or football or women or anything. He was more of the disciplinarian, you know, and that type of stuff. So
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So the nickname Chill, how you get that name, man?
once again, man, my homeboy Scotty Ware, you know, actually my name is Chill, you know, because my name is Eric.
Chill.
And so they used to call me E. And then, you know, I was always either playing too much or, you know, doing stuff out there in the streets, you know. And so my homie used to tell me, hey, man, chill, you know, chill out, man, chill. And
Yeah.
so it slowly transitioned into E chill. He would be like, hey, E, chill. Hey, E, man, chill. And so that's
Okay.
how I ended up getting that name.
Okay, yeah, because I be definitely seeing some of your videos and stuff. But yeah, you was even on the inside whenever you talk about stories or whatnot. Yeah, you was definitely mess with people up in there. You know, just
Right.
I mean, I understand, of course. You know, like motherfuckers gonna get what they got coming, but you know, we all in here spending, you know, doing time and shit. So you know, we gonna have fun with it. You know,
Right.
but sometimes it's hard to hide it because you definitely gonna smile and gonna laugh, and you know, you gonna get busted red-handed. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So I do know that you know, you do interviews, you know, on a lot of different individuals that been on the inside. You also do a couple of ones that haven't been on the inside or whatnot. But obviously mostly all the interviews you did with other people, you know, been on the inside or whatnot. And I seen you on Cam TV as well. You know, I saw it, Cam did a interview on you. So I want to ask you, like, how does it feel whenever somebody does an interview on you besides you doing somebody interview on somebody else?
Excuse me. Honestly, it's always a pleasure, man, and an honor, man. And the first dude who gave me an interview was a dude by the name of Mike P&G News, man. Shout out to him. He has a nice little channel up out of Chicago. And so, like I say, by me coming from where I came from, man, being incarcerated, you know, 24 years, I had a life sentence. And at the time in California, when I was incarcerated, even though you had life, you basically had life without parole because they wasn't releasing any lifers. So, you know, there was times and there was a long time when I never thought I was coming home. So now for me to be home, and also people want to, you know, they think that what I have to say is interesting. It's definitely it's an honor, man. You know, it's an honor.
Oh, absolutely, man. Because yeah, unfortunately, the justice system had became a little bit better, you know, better since definitely the '90s or whatnot. It definitely has tightened up or whatnot because yeah, back in the day there was no really statute of limitation on anything. They was denying parole left and right. I mean, parole was a big issue back in the '90s. You know, in 2000, like early 2000s and whatnot, it was a big issue. They was not letting nobody out. Like it don't matter how long you've been in there, they was denying everybody. So you know,
Right.
I am kind of happy that there was laws and loopholes that came in, you know, and they actually buckled down on that simple fact that okay, they keep denying. No, there has to be a reason behind this, and they actually did some background, you know, checking and whatnot, and pretty much wiped the whole district out and whole office and brought new people or whatnot. So like that, I really appreciate that because without that, you probably still be in there, you know,
Yeah,
like
most,
you know,
most definitely, man. Most definitely. You know, they had a lot of individuals who had possibly was sentenced to 7 years to life or just a life sentence, you know, a flat life. And some of them dudes had been in there 30 years. And so some of those individuals started filing lawsuits with the courts and appeals. And
right.
some of
Mm-hmm.
those lawsuits was ruled on and it favored all the dudes serving life. So yeah, then the whole parole system got revamped. And so, you know, all those things was extremely instrumental in me finally being able to get paroled for my life sentence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, my cousin my cousin was sent. I had a cousin out here. He was sentenced to 10 years and whatnot, and he ended up doing 15. You know, even though his sentence was 10, you know, he was getting in trouble and kept. He was in California too. He kept having to stay in jail or whatnot, and then it came to the time where the court was like, "Nah, just you gotta let him out." You know, like we
Right.
can't do that. Of course. So right now, can you go ahead and maybe give us a story, that you may be acquiring on the inside that you haven't spoke of yet, or maybe one that you was about to plan on, and we could do it here on live or whatnot, or little anything that little story that somebody don't know yet, what I'm saying, or anything.
Well, I really have to think. Yeah, I can't think of nothing like right off the back. I got, like
Let,
I
let
said,
me let me ask you, how many sellers did you have during the whole 24 years?
sometimes I try to sit back and remember, man, and I can't quite
Mhm.
remember that either, man. But numerous cellies, man. I remember my first celly was an individual spook from Venice Showline, and
Okay.
I'm trying to think who my last celly was, because after a while, the particular prison that I was at, they went single man cell. So and you know what? That might be a story I can give you right there, man.
Okay.
One of my last cellies was a dude by the name, I think his name was PJ, but they used to call him Itchy. He had like he had a nervous tick. His hand was always shaking. So they would be
Okay.
clowning, they would clown him about it. So he had gotten to the habit of holding his t-shirt. But excuse me. But by him shaking all day, by the time he
Yeah,
finished,
his collar, yeah, mhm.
collar would be way down here, like I say. So I moved into the cell with him without necessarily knowing that he had this nervous tick. My buddy I had just got back to the pen, to that particular prison, and my buddy was saying, "Hey man, this dude," because they had me in what's known as basically like reception row. So you got to
Okay.
try to find, either they move you in a cell or you find somebody to go in. And these cells at this particular prison was extremely small, so you definitely want to try to find somebody that you cool with and compatible. So
Mhm.
one of my partners, he said, "Hey man, this dude right here, he cool." So I moved in the cell with him. And so, like I say, I'm not necessarily knowing he got the nervous tick. So now, like I say, the cells is extremely small, and one bed is like what they call, it's like a day bed. It lets down off the wall. In the morning, you push it
Okay.
up the wall and you chain it to the wall. And the other bed is
It
like,
just on top.
no, well, one bed is on the right side. One
Okay.
bed is permanently affixed to the wall. The other bed lets down from the wall. And so when they let down from the wall, you guys are essentially side by side. I mean, you literally side by side looking at each other. Then, so you can maybe have the maintenance people come and hire the bed a little bit, because, you don't want to wake up, turn around, and it's another man
Right.
2 feet away. But anyway, so we laying in there, and like I say, I don't know he have this nervous tick. So he turns around the other side, and I just see him over there shaking.
Oh.
I see him over there shaking, and I'm like, I know this motherfucker ain't in here jacking off,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
at,
yeah. Of course, yeah. Of course, I know what you're thinking.
so I'm looking at the motherfucker, right, and I said, "Hey man, what the fuck is you doing?" And he said, I'm not doing nothing. And he turned around, he lifted up, and I seen his clothes was on and stuff. And then, like I say, then I come to find out about that tick, but he was real a real huge Michael Jordan fan, and come to find out, man, he was kind of burnt out. He swore he was
Okay.
the biggest Michael Jordan fan in the world, and every night he'd want me to ask him questions so he could answer and share his stats and all that old type of shit, man. And so yeah,
Okay.
he was a real weird dude, man. And yeah, so I matter of fact, I forgot all about him. I'll probably do a story about him, man. He was a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
weird.
You should. You should. That's good. Yeah, you definitely should. Go ahead. Yeah. Get that. Get that blueprint or whatnot, and get that formulated. All right. So, yeah. Following that question, man. Like, who was the best seller you had and the worst seller you had, and why?
Oh man. Well, I had a lot of good cellies, man.
And of course, you don't have to drop names. Of course, not. Just
Right.
I know how you like to fill in names for people and everything.
No,
So just
we definitely can go ahead and put the good cellies out there, man. One of my better cellies, man, was my buddy Maurice Tansey, man, also known as T Roller from Colton City Crip. He ended up
okay,
passing away, man. He passed away. He was my cellie on a couple of different occasions.
man. Rest in peace. Absolutely.
Yeah, he passed
Notice
away in prison, man. And he was a real good cellie of mine. I had another good cellie by the name of Demp. He was from Long Beach 20s. He was real good.
it.
No, I had several good cellies, man. I had, I didn't have the unfortunate, inconvenience of having a lot of bad cellies. So, I had a lot of good cellies.
And the cellies was it mostly people that you met on the inside, like that was good ones, or you already knew them from the outs?
Most of them I met actually. Let me think about how many cellies that I had that I knew on the out. I only had 2 cellies that I knew on the outs, So
Okay.
yeah, the majority of the cellies was individuals who I met in there. Man, I also had another real good celly. One of my first cellies was a dude by the name of Big H, also known as Big Heron from Compton, from the Grandies. A lot of people, when I've mentioned him before, a lot of people have confused him with the Heron that was running with Death Row. No, not that Heron. This Heron was a Crip. He was a Crip. He was from the Grandies, which was a hood that later became Nutty Block. And
Yeah, yeah, I know about Nutty Block. Absolutely.
yeah, he ended up passing away maybe about 2 years after I left. I heard he had a heart attack. But yeah, he was another real good celly,
Oh
man.
man,
Real,
absolutely.
real good dude. Didn't know me from Adam when I first got up there to Salinas Valley. He saw that I was a young dude, didn't have no homies on the line. And so he just, hey man, you want to move in with me? And he was a real cool dude, man. He had been down about 15, 16 years at that time, And
Man.
so yeah, he was one of my better cellies too. Real genuine dude.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a long time. I mean, yeah, you did 24 straight as well, so I know for a fact. That's some things you got to sit back and think about, because, like you said, without them laws and without it starting from the inside of the prison, the people writing them appeals to the courts, about letting parole off. Like, if it didn't start with that, of course, everything would have stayed the same. So
Right, most definitely.
yeah,
I probably would still be in there. So no,
yeah, right,
that's a great
right. And 24 years, I mean, like that's too long for any type of crime. I don't care who you are. Like that, this is grown ass man we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's
people
too
learn that
long.
lesson.
That's damn near
Hmm.
too long to be dead. 24 years.
You hear me? That's too long for any type of fucking crime.
Yeah.
Regardless. But so I want to ask you, what was the most important that you incarcerated a whole 24 years?
Say that again. Something happened to the audio right then. Say that again.
Yeah, somebody was calling me, so I had to not this phone call. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you good.
Okay, yeah, you kind of went low again. Let me adjust this mic. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
I'm back. My bad. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, what was the most important thing that you learned that whole 24 years? Like, not at the beginning, not in the middle, not at the end. The most important one.
The most important thing I believe that I learned, man, was just, being respectful, man. Being respectful. And your personality, keep your word, man. The person that you are goes a long ways, man. Being a stand-up individual, being respectful, because and sometimes, man, just individuals knowing you and knowing who you are can save you from a lot of trouble. Say for instance, I know you, man. Me and you is a real good dude, man. I
Mhm.
may hit a prison and they didn't say it. You didn't stole something or you didn't done something. And I say,
Right,
hey, man, listen, I've been knowing Terry. No, man, it's got to be more than that. And, sometimes individuals knowing your character will speak up for you and get the situation hashed when you possibly could have got smashed. Or same thing, you may speak up for me. Oh, no, man, I know Chill wouldn't do that. It had to be more to it. Let's
right,
investigate a little bit more. Because sometimes in there you have individuals who are in charge of a car or who are in charge of their homies. That's not always the smartest individuals or the most diplomatic. Sometimes individuals who run in a car are just the most violent. So like I say, man, being respectful, having good character, keeping your word, it goes a long way, because despite the fact that you have a lot of individuals in there for some extremely heinous crimes or violent crimes or whatever. When I first came to prison, there were, you had individuals, man, who still had morals, who still had respect, and it wasn't as wild as it is today. Now you got the youngsters talking about running off on the plug is cool and stealing from your homeboy and killing your homeboy and being scandalous towards your homeboy. It was a different type of individual back then, and so yeah, during that 24 years that I've done, I definitely watched the dynamics of the penitentiary change,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy you say that, because I'll be 31 next Wednesday, and I never been to prison. I've been to county jail a couple times, whatnot, traffic tickets and shit, DUI or whatever, but so it's crazy because the same after that whole 24 years that you was in there, even though I was on the outs, I learned the exact same thing within my 31 years of living. You always want to keep your word and stay honest and positive, because it don't matter how hard it may hurt somebody else. You don't want to lie to somebody, because it's gonna that's gonna leave room for all types of error. So I learned since Jump Street. Like, all right, let me tell you the story. One time, I had my homie with me. His name was Shorty. Shorty had this Benjamin Button disease. Okay, he was 30 something years old, but he looked like a 12-year-old. So me and him, my homegirl had called me one day, and she worked at Popeye. She was like, "Hey Terry, can you come grab me some weed with the whoop?" And I was like, "All right, cool." She said she's gonna be at work at 4 o'clock. I'll come get the money for it. Go get the weed, come back, and she smoke with me. So I'm like, cool. So I go up there. I got Shorty with me, mind you. My little friend and whatnot. He's mobbing with me, because he want to smoke like I want to smoke. It's back in the day or whatever. We still in California and shit, So, he coming with me. I invited him with me. So I get up to Popeyes, talk to her, get the money from her. We go get the weed and shit. And then she told me she get off at 10:30 o'clock at night, so she told me to hold on to the weed, come back at 10:30 whenever she got off. So remind you, I still got Shorty with me this whole time. Me and Shorty, we go back to Shorty house, we chilling, waiting until 10:30. We're not smoking the weed, of course, because we don't, it's not all weed. We waiting for her to get off. So 10:30 come around, and we go back up there, and I meet up with her, and she tells me, no disrespect, but she tells me, like, she told me Shorty was waiting out in the parking lot, and I went inside, and she said, no disrespect, but I just want to smoke with you, not with your friend, and I was like, oh shit, okay, well, I done spent down there 8 hours, dragging Shorty with me on this whole mission or whatnot, waiting until my homegirl got off or whatever. So I had to make the decision to either go back and let Shorty know the truth, you know what I'm saying, or try to lie to him and make up a story and, spare his feelings. No, I went right back to him and I told him the honest truth. I'm sorry, Shorty. Like, I do apologize. I had you with me this whole time, but, she ain't really trying to smoke with you. She just want to smoke with me, like, at that point in time, when I think I was 18 at the time, when I did that, I realized, like, you never, like you said, you never want to go against any type of, your word and your bars is all we got, so you never want to say something that's not, you don't want to put pain where it's ain't, I guess, people say nowadays. So I definitely.
And most definitely, man, most definitely. I had a motto that, only people I lied to is the police, man. And, because just, me as an individual, man, I wouldn't feel right, man, having to lie to an individual, man. And I remember one time, like I say, I told a story where when I got to the pen, right, an individual let me use his fuck magazine, Blood. I had one. Excuse me. I had one, man, and he had one, and so we swapped out. Mine was a Playboy book of women of color. So the brothers in there, we like the thick sisters. Since Playboy, my brother had sent to me with some skinny white girls in there, or real skinny sisters in there. And so I loaned the book to another one of my homies, man, another one of my crip partners up in there. And then, dude, I thought I was gonna have the book a couple days, and dude, I guess when he seen the book, it was trash. So he wanted his book back. So he sent one of his homies over there, like maybe early the next day, to get the book back. And I didn't have the book, man. And so I had to act like I was using the bathroom, because only thing that really saved me, when dude came to the cell, we don't look into people's cells. We don't come to the window. We'll come to the crack and holler in like, hey man, hey, and I saw, hey man, I'm on the shitter. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, give me a few minutes. So then he was in the building, but the building was sectioned off by pods, and he had to go through a door to get the R pod. And so, I sent the word down there to the homie Cass to shoot the book back to me. And then so I slid the book back to him. And then the next day he said, hey man, the other dude, did you loan my book out? And I said, no, man, because I knew I was in violation, right? And like I say, it made me feel bad, man, of course. And so that's the only time that I fucked up in the pen. And, And I didn't even like having to lie to an individual. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right, of course.
yeah, so it's always best to keep clean, keep shit clean cut across the board. So from that time I learned, hey, when a motherfucker asks me something, hey, hold on, man, this ain't mine, man.
Yeah.
Let me get that old boy and see if it's cool first, Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said,
the
it really
dude,
don't matter, like like it don't matter. You can't spare nobody else feeling, by lying to them type shit. You always
right,
gotta keep it real. Yeah, like I said, I learned that shit. Even like I didn't do no type of prison, like I said, but I still learned it on the streets and shit the same way you learn in prison. So it's
yeah,
crazy because once you can separate the bull from the shit, you know how to look at life different. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And
right,
that was one of my sayings, and it's still my sayings. Be fast to listen and slow to speak. Like always separate the bull from the shit because them things never go together.
right. Most definitely.
So yeah, most definitely. So with that follow up question, so you answer what was the most important thing you learned. Who was the most important person that you met on the inside? Like who could you say that was that one that off the muscle you remember straight from the inside, or somebody that you had that certain connection with that you will always have that connection with no matter where.
You know what?
Like if
Man,
you can narrow it down, like there might be a few, but if you could just like kind of narrow it all the way down.
you know, man, that's a good question right there, man. Because I had I ran across a few good dudes in there, man. And so, like you say, it's a few of them, man. One good dude that comes to mind is a good partner of mine, man, by the name of Dan Tanner, about a Long Beach.
Nice.
And when I met him in the county jail, man, and so he had came down from he was locked up in the pen, and they brought him to the county on
So can
another.
I ask you something real quick? Can I ask you something real quick? Cause I noticed like a lot of inmates like you bring up is for Long Beach and whatnot. Like the county jail that you was at, was it Wayside? We talk about Wayside County Jail.
No, I was in Riverside County, but
Okay, okay,
you have like people from LA, people from San
right. You
Bernardino.
get transferred.
Everybody's everywhere. So in the event you happen to get caught up in Riverside County, that's where they're gonna bring you to jail at.
Okay, okay, got you. Yeah, because I know a lot of like Long Beach people do go to Wayside as well or whatnot, and like I know Wayside, it's right next to Magic Mountain and everything. So they
Right,
usually, yeah, but like you said, they could be anywhere. I did time at Theo Lacey, so
right.
yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
And so they had brought him down from the pen. He charged him with another case, and so me he probably was about I don't know, maybe about 8-9 years older than me, maybe a little less, but he happened to take a liking to me, man. And just so he had been to prison before, and he talked to me, laced me, let me know a lot of the things that I needed to know and stuff. And so we both end up going back to the pen, and we kept in contact through letters all that time, the whole time, man, back and
Yeah.
forth. And he went through a lot, I went through a lot, and so he just came down to visit me a couple days ago. I didn't see him several times since I've been out, but so he's one of the individuals that comes straight to mind as far as our connection, man. Real intelligent dude, real with the business when it's time to be, and so that's one of them.
Okay, okay, nice, nice. Have you put him in any videos of yours or whatnot? Any
No,
music video?
I interviewed him a couple days ago, and we gonna run the interview again, and hopefully we gonna drop a video pretty soon. But I'm talking about a rap video, probably having one of my rap videos and stuff. And I'm gonna try to get him get that interview again with him knocked out the way pretty soon, probably in a couple of weeks, hopefully, and drop it.
Okay, okay, yeah, we definitely gonna get into the music here in a minute. But I do got it. All right, it's about to get a little deep because I do got a deep question for you. I haven't asked nobody this. Like you, my first interview, off rip, and like I said, I do plan on doing more. I'm really trying to get my YouTube content up or whatnot. Like I'm just now jumping off the porch, with this interview or whatnot. So yeah, this is my very first interview, and I do highly appreciate you. Let me ask you. So it's kind of deep. How do you feel, or what did you witness? Because I'm pretty sure it happens. Of course, you got MA politics, and then this you got CO politics as well. the CO is definitely going to politic together. You know, like people don't talk about this. You know, they always talk about the inmate politics. I got a cousin that he's so scared whenever he goes to jail, he has to get moved, like he has to be in the gay pod because of the fact that he's too scared to deal with the politics with the inmates. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With the inmates. And like I said, nobody ever talk about this CEO or the CO, the correction officer politicking. You know, so I want to ask you, you know, how do you feel about that? And what's the things that you've seen that actually you could see how CEO politics throughout the prison system?
Oh, well, you know, they definitely play games. They definitely politic. They use their influence, you know, to get people hurt, get people set up, you know, all types of stuff. You know, you piss them off, man, and you know, they might wait. They might work in the tower, wait till an incident happens where, you know, they fall within the guidelines to use live rounds. You know, and you may be 100 feet from away from where the people is fighting and end up getting shot. You know, just all types of stuff, man. You know, they'll plant drugs and search your cell, put a knife up in there, all type of stuff. So, you know, they definitely aren't always the most upstanding individuals. You know, like I say, man, they constantly they lie on you. You know, they lie on you, they write you up, they lie on you. I got caught up in a riot one time, man, and 6 of them lied on me so bad I beat the riot. You know, I beat the write up, and so what it is, you know, when the riot jumped off, all 6 of them claimed that they had maced me. You know, one of them, they all said they had maced me for several seconds. One claimed he maced me for 8 seconds. I kept fighting. He maced me for another 5 seconds. He claimed he maced me, my homie, and the other 2 individuals that we was fighting. But when you get caught up in a riot, they have what's called the schematics. They have, you know, they pinpoint, you know, they try to where everybody was, what general area you was in, if you got caught with a knife, what wounds you had. When you get maced, you have to go get decontaminized. You have to go get water, you know, because that stuff is burning the hell out of you.
Right. Yeah.
So of course, I knew they was lying. So then I checked the other 2 individuals who we were fighting against. They hadn't got maced. And so, you know, I pointed this out to the hearing officer, and he found me not guilty. So just stuff like that, man. You know, you had 3 or 4 of them, like I said, saying they had maced me several times, and I continued to fight. So just all this type of stuff, you know. Now, if they didn't really see me fighting, why lie about it? You know what I'm saying? So it just a whole bunch of stuff, man. The COs do, you know, they do a whole lot of rotten stuff, man. And I got an interview actually coming up pretty soon with a ex-CO who served 28 years. And so we're going to definitely get into all that type of stuff, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what they like to do is they like to mace you and then take you out in the sun, because they know that mace, as soon as that sun hit that mace, it's going to burn your ass up. And they like doing that for some reason. I don't know why, but they would definitely do that to you. They talk about, let me take you over here. They definitely going to take you outside on the whole other side of the building when they could have just simply opened 2 doors. But yeah, they love doing that. They love, it could be hot too outside. Yeah, they love doing that.
Yeah, they do all type of cruel tricks, you know.
So why do you think that it's not spoke of as much as the inmate politicking? How come nobody ever talk about the CO and the correction officer politicking in there? It's more focused on the inmates. And, you know, all the inmates is bad. They don't talk about the COs and what they doing. Like, how come nobody ever bring this up?
Well, you know, they do to a certain degree, you know.
Okay.
But, I think, you know, a lot of the reason too is pride, man. It's pride. Some dudes don't want to feel like they're telling on the COs, but I look at it like, you know, you're not telling on the individual if me and you are not on the same playing field. You know, like if I'm sticking to the rules and you're not, and I'll give you an example. A lot of people are familiar with the Corcoran fights they had
Okay.
they had individuals in the shoe, Mexicans, blacks, and whites, you know, and so what they was trying to do was integrate the shoe yard and have different races go to the same yard, you know. And so you know, you had the Hispanics and the whites were refusing to be integrated, and so they had orders from, you know, their higher ups or whatever to basically take off on the blacks, you know. So now all this was going on, and of course every time, you know, they put 2 blacks on the yard, 2 Hispanics on the yard, the Hispanics would rush the blacks and they fight. And the police, the higher ups, they knew about all this. All this stuff was recorded. And so, but what was happening was some of the guards sometimes who was overseeing these fights, they would shoot. You know, they was using live ammunition, and several dudes got killed. And so instead of instead of, you know, saying, hey man, we're gonna refuse to go to yard. You know, I mean, these dudes are killing us. Because now when you leave the shoe and you go to the yard, you get strip searched, all that. You got your handcuff, you know, you got to strip out before you even come out your cell, all this type of stuff. So they are shooting these dudes because they're fist fighting. You know, they're making up excuses. Oh, I thought this dude's life was in danger. And, you know, you had so many dudes back there still going to the yard, even at the risk of being killed because their pride was on the line, you know? And so,
And also they hid their weapons on the yard too. Like that's what they, you know, by the gates and shit. That's why they had their little knives and shit. Because like you said, when you go in and go out, you get strip search regardless. So when they made their weapons, they left that shit on the yard, you know. So it was one
yeah,
of their
but no,
hot spots as well.
this was a special yard. This wasn't the regular yard like the general population yard. This was the
Okay.
yard in the shoe, a little cement concrete yard, you know, not
Okay.
that big
Okay.
at all. So maybe 15 by 20, who knows, somewhere
It
where
was
it
a
was
setup from the
easily
gate.
searched.
A setup from
Yeah,
the gate, pretty
yeah,
much.
right. And so, like I say, by you know, by the convicts just being too prideful to say, hey man, we're not just to go out there, you know. So sometimes it's pride. You know, you have individuals who don't want to feel that they are, you know, telling on the guards or whatever. So, you know, they rather prefer to go to the yard and risk getting killed.
So these motherfuckers damn near built a motherfucking boxing ring or cement.
That's exactly what it was. And you know, you or anyone else can look that up on YouTube. The cork and shoe fights, stage fights, it's all over YouTube how they were doing.
Yeah,
You actually had a CO who ended up blowing the whistle on what was going on because they killed several individuals. And then they end up going to trial, and of course they was found not guilty.
of course, yeah.
Right.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah. Yeah, when I know especially I saw a couple of videos back in the day, you know, they riots and whatnot, the Mexicans and blacks, and they call for the yard down, and whoever's still moving, they definitely shoot them in the back of the head and just killing them, like, you know, no question, no remorse, no nothing. So yeah, that
Right.
it was pretty messed up how they doing it. Like, do you think it's still like that now? Like, still, is it still?
It's not that bad, man. Now the penitentiary is extremely watered down, you know.
Thank God, thank God,
And
Jesus Christ.
you know, well, on those higher levels now, you know, there's not as much controversy that it used to be, you know. And so but in the event, you know, they happen to see a person out there with a weapon, you know, it still falls under their guidelines to shoot, you know.
Of course, because that's a threat. Yeah, you know, you don't want to have any threat on the yard at
Right.
any time. So, of course. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this music, man. So go ahead and let me know, like, since you've been doing your music, I know you say you started writing music when you was on the inside, right?
No, I actually started writing music long before I even went to prison. I started
Okay.
rapping probably when I was like 12 years old, somewhere like up in there. So
Okay, you started writing around 12 as well.
right.
Okay, did you ever record any of them or?
Yeah, I was going to the studio several times, and I'd had a little independent contract, you know, and so
Okay.
I went out of, you know, at this point in time I'm on the run, and so I went out of state, and then I came back to try to finish the little the album that I was working on, and the police had been, you know, watching my house, and so that's how I ended up
Okay.
actually being arrested.
Okay. You still got some of that music like that you
Yeah,
recorded way back there?
but yeah, my mom has a few of them, a few of the tapes, you know, because back then things were recorded on what's known as ADAT, you know, and so
Right. Yeah. Of
yeah, it
course,
was,
yeah.
you know, we were on tapes and stuff back then. So yeah, but I still have my mom still has a few of the songs and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. I know what 8 decades. I'm 31 and whatnot. When you go ahead and release that toy your music, man. When you plan
Oh
on?
man, the audio on that is the audio on that is so jacked up, you know, because like I said,
Right.
it's we will record it and then it's on a tape, you know, it's on
And we know that. Like, we know that. We
yeah,
know how many years ago, you know, so we know the quality between music, how it was and what it, what it was now. And even when you like recording in the bathroom, you know, we used to rap in the bathroom, whatever, you know, like,
right.
so yeah, we understand that. But yeah, when you gonna go ahead and maybe introduce that to the world, man?
Oh man, I don't know. You know what I may do is I may try to recreate them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Have somebody you know, give me the same beat and I do the same rap over the equipment that they have today. That might be something because
Right.
actually a lot of my homies is telling me I had a song called "Don't Let the Streetlights Catch You," and it was real popular back in my hood. So I may go ahead and try to do that one of these days.
Okay, but you gotta put the little 12-year-old voice somewhere, like some clips or something in between them songs or whatnot. You're gonna have
Right.
to.
Well, at the time I recorded that, I wasn't 12. At the time I recorded that, I was like 19 or 20, somewhere up in there. So
Okay. Okay, yeah, you still probably put some clips or whatever from the original in there, because I'm pretty sure you sound way different now besides when you
right,
was 19.
right.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty dope. All right, so yeah, I do want to ask you about, is there anybody that you want to do a feature with, like somebody that you looking forward to working with within the music industry, like somebody that been on your list that you want to go ahead and do a song with, and somebody that is on, that you're looking up to or whatnot, that you think you have accomplished something within your, like, one of your bucket list objects. You know what I'm saying? Like marked off the list. I did that.
To be honest, not necessarily, because like I say, I really I do the rap thing for more of a hobby, kind of like I think that, due to my age and stuff, it's just very unlikely I'll I'll get to the get as successful as I thought I could possibly be back when I was younger. So now, I just kind of like do it more for, just to put some music and stuff out there. So I hadn't really given that much thought, yeah, so it's several artists that I necessarily, I definitely like, the Game, and the Baby, and stuff like that. But as far as just collaborations with any like major artists, I hadn't really given that much thought.
Okay, gotcha. So say if you could just do a song with somebody, tomorrow, who would it be? Who would you just pull out there and be like, anybody, and it could be anybody.
Oh man, well, like I say, it's man, it's definitely a few artists that, I mean, definitely Drake, just for
And
the,
what beat would it be on? Like would you want to get a new beat, or like, would you use a beat, like
oh
if you
no,
just got
yeah,
the opportunity handed to you, like
yeah,
everything's in your court.
it would be, yeah, it would probably be, one of those Drake type beats, and I say Drake just due to that the songs that he dropped, man, they do numbers. He
Of
all
course.
his music is extremely relevant. So like I say, him, Roddy Rich, some of those, these are some of the individuals whose music that I like nowadays. J. Cole, because a lot of these artists to me aren't. I feel like from my generation, the lyrical aspect of it has went away now. It's more about the feel of the music or the vibe of the music. So not to say that I don't like a lot of those uh newer artists, but I still like artists who I consider are lyrical as well. So um one dude that's really off the chain, I wouldn't necessarily want to collaborate with him, but to me, I'm extremely impressed by his lyrical ability to be so young, is the dude named Corday or something like that.
Corday.
Corday, I think it's Corday, yeah.
Okay. He from California.
I don't quite know where he's from. I didn't see him rapping on YouTube a couple of times, and he's pretty decent. I think he's one of them. I don't know if it's like YFN Corday, or I forget
Okay.
exactly where he's from, but the dude is definitely nice.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna look him up, man. I don't think I'm familiar. I probably heard him before, but I don't, the names, even, and people I know personally, like I wouldn't know their name, but just the face, will remind me on who they is and whatnot. So, yeah. So, go ahead and tell the people where they can actually find your music at, and everything. Like, let them know where they can go find all your albums or songs or videos and whatnot.
Okay, well, I just right now I got two mixtapes, and you can go to my website 16tolife.com and order them on there. And they're well, actually one of them is are pretty much sold out, but that's 16dalife.com, 16tolife.com. Then also you can go to any major streaming site. I got a song by the name of Never Gave Me Therapy. You can go in there and check it out, or you can go to my YouTube page, which is 16 to Life. Once again, 16DALIFE, and you can go to my playlist. go to my playlist, and then go to gas stations, and my music is there. Or I believe you can also still go to YouTube and just type in 16 to Life music. And so I definitely hope to be creating some new music in the future, some new original music soon.
Nice. Booyah. Y'all heard it here live and first. Exactly where you get the music at. Now, I do want to ask you, and that's funny how you brought up, Never Gave Me Therapy. I do got these two songs on here that I do want to ask you about personally. And what was you going through at the time whenever you wrote them, and actually compared to when you stepped in the studio and produced, made the songs? Is how we're going to say it. Like we're going to say what was the difference between writing a song and then actually getting in the booth and like the feeling, not the difference, just the feeling in your body. So these two songs I have for you is Never Gave Me Therapy, and Relapse is two of my favorite songs that, I have on my playlist, of course. Like I got your whole album on there, but those two of my favorite songs. So what was the difference and how did you feel differently whenever you wrote it besides dropping it?
Well, let's go with Never Gave Me Therapy first. Okay. Actually, Never Gave Me Therapy is something that I really didn't like, honestly, because I had scheduled me some studio time, and it was about 2 or 3 weeks away. And since I've been out, man, I'll be moving so fast. I don't have time to sit down and write and memorize my lyrics like I did when I was incarcerated. So anyway, I get to the studio. I haven't wrote anything for that, for that session. So I didn't want to cancel on the dude, and I didn't want to go in there and waste my time. So I got to the studio maybe about 10 minutes early, I say. So I wrote the lyrics outside the studio in the car real quick. And so by me just writing it so fast, I really didn't like it, So once I went in there and recorded it, I really didn't like it because, like I said, I wrote it so fast. Then I actually did another version, which I took my time to write, and I like that more. But everybody that I asked them, hey man, which one you like? Which one should I release? Everyone they were telling me that first one, but the other one I'll probably release that on probably drop that on my page probably next time I get back to the studio and can have my my engineer just upload it. And then Relapse, I was really feeling that, man, that beat right there. My homeboy threw me that beat, man. One of my younger homies, man, who I actually didn't even know at the time, man. He was just from Bannon, and he had once I got out, he threw me the beat, and I'm sitting here trying to honestly remember his name, man, because like I said, I met him when I got out, man. Okay, Gates, his last name was Gates. I forget his name, man, but anyway, a couple of weeks after he threw me the beat, he ended up passing away, and I don't know if it was from COVID or what. I'm trying to remember his name, man. But anyway, so he originally
you had to kill it there.
Yeah, and so he gave me the beat for me and two of my other homies to rap to, and so we did a song, and it's called "I'm from Bannon," but I still wanted to gas that beat by myself, and so after we recorded that, I came back, and that's when I made Relapse, and so in the song I'm just talking about how I feel things have changed nowadays, and like when you try to kick back, excuse me, when you try to kick back and just be chill, how some of these youngsters nowadays, man, they see a individual who's trying to be lenient or trying to be respectful as being soft, man. And so sometimes that's all they respect is when you have to go upside their head,
Right. Yeah, that is true. And I do know about the song from Bannon. Yeah, that is a good song. And yeah, definitely the same beat from Relapse and whatnot. So yeah, you made your own version after the group song.
Right.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. Yeah, you can definitely tell because of the timing and the video or whatnot. Because I think I saw a video on it.
Yeah.
Kind of like old school video. Mm-hmm. All right. So man, your merch. Like, you want to go ahead and tell the people about your merch, and I'm gonna definitely after this, after we get done, you definitely got to send me some merch for sure. Drop my ID or whatever. We're gonna chop it up and everything, and like not just some merch, like Your commissary box is an interesting, subject and topic to talk about because of the simple fact that I never ever seen it before. Like nobody ever made a commissary box, but like you was promoting it. You got videos on your YouTube 8 months, 9 months ago. You talk about the commissary box, and then you stopped for a little bit. Like the videos you doing now, more like kind of live or whatever, but you don't really and like introduce the commissary box. It's more like the merch or whatnot. So, can you give people the inside scoop on where they can maybe find your merch, what you got, some new merch coming, what's going on with the commissary box and everything?
Right. Okay. First and foremost, the commissary box is not mine. That was a friend's idea, and so she had asked me if I would do a little bit of a marketing and promotion for her. So yeah, that
Okay.
was her idea. I forget the the exact name of her website, but if you go to my video where it's titled How I Escaped from LA, where I'm talking about Mr. Interesting, it's an interview when he talks
Yeah,
about
Mr. Interesting, yeah.
talks about escaping from LA County Jail. All the information is in that video. You can find it in the description box. And then
Okay.
my merch can be found on my website once again, 16tolife.com. I have some 16 to Life t-shirts. I have some 16 to Life hoodies, Yard Down t-shirts, Yard Down hoodies. There's a character of who I talk about a lot in some of my videos, an individual by the name of Fox, who was a pimp who I met in Montana. And so I have some, he had a saying, just tell me what I owe you. He'd come sometimes get drugs from me on credit. And, he said, just tell me what I owe you, man. His word was his bond. And so individuals seemed to like him a lot. And so I got some t-shirts with his name on it. And also he had a saying, surrender that money. And so, yeah, you can find all that on my my website, 16tolife.com, and you can purchase everything through PayPal.
Oh yeah, there it is. So you got any new merch coming out? Maybe some hats, some beanies, anything of that nature, some stickers or anything. I do know that you do want to start doing a cartoon. You do want to do some animation. I did hear you say that. I think it was yesterday or the day before. You was on
Right.
live or whatnot, I believe, and you was talking about how you want to do some animation or whatnot. So you got any of that lined out? Like I say, with any new merch or whatever, like beanies and hats and different styles or whatnot.
Yeah, well, right now I'm looking into having some of my stories animated. And as far as with the merch, I believe what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scale back on doing the merch and maybe just come with one t-shirt and stuff, because I realized that by me doing the merch, by me doing the YouTube stories, by me doing the interviews, I'm also trying to write a book, which I've been extremely slow on that, and also trying to rap. I'm kind of just doing too much, and so it's taking my focus away from a whole lot of different things. So I think I may just go with one shirt or maybe just scale back on the merch a little bit for right now until I start, picking up some steam, and then I'll start slowly trying to integrate these different things into what I'm trying to do. I think once my page took off, a lot of guys are telling me, hey man, get some merch, do this, do that. But by me, because like I say, I don't have a team or a big backing. So it's a little taxing to try to be doing so many things. So that's
Right.
what I've been thinking of late. But yeah, for the time being, though, they still can go check my merch out, like I said, on 16tolife.com. That's 16DALIFE.com.
And yeah, y'all definitely go check that much out. And whenever we drop this video, on the platforms, if y'all know anybody that does animation, any cartoon work, definitely, drop it in the comments. Let 16 Life know, because he definitely needs somebody to, he want to do some cartoon or whatnot. So, help us out, help him out, get this going, because, he's doing a big thing, man. He's like, your name on YouTube is definitely ringing bells. And I want to ask you, how did you come up with the Yard Down logo? Because the Y with the dude with the hands in the air, and then you got the I believe it's the D with the tower.
Right. And
No, at the end, it's the end actually. Yeah, I believe it's the end.
right. And it was just, just thinking about it, man, because yard down is a saying that, when happens in prison, when there's an incident or fight or whatever, they the guy in the tower hollers yard down, for he wants everybody to prone out. And so the why came from how a person is proned out on the ground with his hands laying out. It was just something that I thought of, something that came to me. And then of course the other elements are all prison influence. So it just, tinkering with this and tinkering with that. The guy who helped me design my website, we just, came up with some different things and went with what I thought looked the best.
Yeah, do you not understand that that is the coldest, coldest logo I ever seen in my life? Like the meaning
Man,
behind it and the way you lined it out like that. That was genius shit. I'm not gonna lie.
thank you. I
That was
appreciate that.
genius. That was a good one. That was a good one. That's good shit. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about be real quick though. Definitely let your homegirl know that I definitely want to give me some commissary box or whatnot. Like, reach
Okay.
out to her, let her know. Yeah, I need her information ASAP because
Right.
definitely want to give me a couple of them. I definitely want to get some merch or whatnot. Y'all down. Fox, tell me what I owe you search. Definitely want to link up on that or whatnot. But let me go ahead and talk about what do you see? What's going on next? Like you dating? So with the music, man, you still consistently like, but you say it's a hobby, so like pretty much, yeah, your focus now is just doing the videos on YouTube and.
Yeah, that's as of late, that has been my primary focus, but I definitely want to get back into the music because the music is my first love, and the music is actually how I even started getting into the stories. I was doing the music first, and then the studio that I was going to, the guy he caught COVID, so at that time I had like about 135 subscribers, and I'm thinking like, dang man, what can I do to keep my subscribers trying to grow a little bit, and then I realized that that when I first got out, everybody was always interested in the amount of time I done and the type of things that went on in prison. So I just started telling stories for a little bit, and that's just something that it happened to take off eventually. That was something that I never planned. So I definitely feel blessed for this opportunity. And so eventually I think I'm gonna probably try to merge into doing reaction videos, and I may create another page where I'm talking and just giving my opinion on certain things, because I think that sometimes when by me doing the prison stories and stuff, some of the people who subscribe to the channel, they just want to keep me in that box. They
Right,
don't want me
right,
to
of course.
step outside of that because that's all they, that they want to be entertained by that, which I definitely understand. So for other individuals who find my personality interesting, I'll maybe open up another channel where I'm talking about a bunch of different stuff. So
And yeah, and one thing you could also do, like, could you imagine how fun it would be when if like you do the animation and then you go through your prison stories about how you let the lotion in the bath, the shower, and the dude went ahead, put it on, it was burning up. Like, could you imagine that in animation to where you
right.
just catch on fire running around? Like, yeah, some of the prison stories, put it in animation and actually, reenact it like that. Be definitely hilarious, and I promise it would definitely go work. Like the one time
Right.
you had to beat your Sally up because he was out there on the yard. Nah, Sally, I wasn't talking, man. You took his
Yeah.
tobacco and shit. Yeah, like that'd be so fucking funny. Like, yeah. So definitely, yeah, look into that or whatnot because, of course, a lot of YouTubers and people that do music, like I see they doing a lot of animation, man. Like a lot of cartoons. Like it's kind of crazy, but people is
Right.
watching them, and it's getting views and it's getting people recognized. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
have you stopped writing completely? Like,
Yeah, the last two songs that I wrote since I've been out was Relapse and Never Gave Me Therapy. A lot of that other stuff that I'm people hear me rapping is some of those raps are 10, 15 years old,
right, right.
Yeah, I haven't actually, created much new music since I've been out. So I definitely want to, like I say, I definitely want to hop on some of this stuff, man. And I think that if people, enjoy the stuff I created 15, 10, 20 years ago, they'll really, when I put some new stuff out, it'll really be good and surprising, I think.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So, yeah, it's just gonna take one day, I guess. You just pick that pen up and get back to writing, whatnot.
Right.
But of course, you focus on the YouTube and everything. And, like I said, y'all, if y'all got anybody that does animation, just go ahead, put them in the comments, so let them know or whatnot. All right. So, my brother did want me to ask you. I don't know if he was fully aware that you were sentenced to life or whatnot. He asked me to ask you how this 16 actually turned into 24. And I did want to tell him because of the laws within the inside, but he wanted me to ask you that question personally, you know what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and answer that question for him, you know.
Right. And
But
like I mentioned earlier in the video, that when I first got sentenced, they wasn't giving lifers parole. So, like I said, you had some dudes who was sentenced to 7 years to life who had been in jail 30 years. Every time you would go to the parole board, they was systematically denying you. We came to find out that the governors had an unwritten policy that they wasn't giving anyone who was in for life, who was charged with a murder, they wasn't paroling them. So, even though you had 15 plus life or 16 plus life, there was many individuals who served well past the number, and so that's how that all transpired. Like I said, I just happened to come into prison during a time where, after I end up doing 16, 17 years, the laws pertaining to parole were changing. I just happened to get lucky. I just happened to come in at the right time, because, like I say, had I came in much earlier, with a 15 to life sentence, you could do 30, 35 years, so.
and a lot of people, are used to hearing you got 15 to life, 25 to life, 35 to life. Nobody ever used to hearing you got 7 to life.
Right. And see,
Like what type of shit?
yeah,
Like,
that was an old sentence. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think George Jackson was sentenced to 7 to life. And I don't recall exactly how much he served before he was murdered in prison, but it was well over 7 years, So, like I say, that was definitely something that was in a great discussion, and eventually started making a way for some of these lifers to get parole, for the dudes who had served their time, So yeah, that was definitely something that was being just abused by the court system.
yeah. So we both can agree that was some straight bullshit, like 7 to life. Like
Right.
that's like that's insane. Like, to be honest, that's kind of crazy. They might as well give you 3 years of life,
Right.
But
The other day, I talked to an individual, man. This dude has been in jail for 37 years. And so he's going to give me a call, and I'm going to interview him over the phone, and hopefully I'll be dropping some of that on my channel as well in the near future.
Okay. So yeah, so pretty much from here on in, you're just gonna be on the YouTube and just keep dropping stories and keep going live, and like you said, you do want to go ahead and get back into music or whatnot. Like you plan on just dropping another mixtape, or you want to go ahead and just do an album?
Most definitely. I want to do both. I want to drop maybe 1 or 2 more mixtapes, but I definitely want to drop an original album. Initially, when I was freed, my plan was to try to put out a few mixtapes and try to get me a little bit of recognition, because, like I say, due to the fact that, I'm older, due to the fact that it's a million rappers now, I wanted to try to get a little bit of recognition before I started pouring a large sum of my money into recording and that type of stuff. So it's always easier just to rap over somebody else's beat, So, well, yeah, eventually, though, now that I have got a little bit of recognition, I definitely want to put some original music out there.
Yeah, you definitely got some hot shit, man. And in your videos and whatnot, you always say, don't get it twisted. Just because you're a little bit older, don't mean you're not bringing the flame. Yeah, you definitely, got some hot shit. Like I said, like you said, the last 2 songs you wrote, was Never Gave Me Therapy and Relapse. Those 2 are one of my favorite songs and whatnot. So yeah. 16 definitely coming with it, y'all. Y'all definitely check them out. If you haven't yet. And the reason for this interview was for the simple fact that of course, I want to give myself more notice, and I want the people that I know about 16 to life, because a lot of people do know about you 16, and then you got a whole lot of majority that don't know about you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, the reason why I even tapped in with you, what I'm saying, is the simple fact that I be telling people about you or whatnot. So with this being done, they can actually see about you, and hear it from your own mouth or whatnot, on actually how the fuck you came up and where you at now, what you been through. Like, it's like I said, with me, it's the same thing. Just I was raised on the streets. I was homeless and all that. My parents lost custody or whatnot. So it was the same, but it was different. You know what I'm saying? We still had rules we had to follow. We still had certain codes we had to stick to or whatnot. Just different ways and whatnot. different locations and shit. So
Right.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
and,
that's
real, and real quick, it just came to me, man. The name of my partner who threw me those beats, man. His name is Damian Gates. Damian Gates, and he sung R&B and did a little rapping himself. So if y'all get a chance, check him out on YouTube. Even though he's passed away, his work is still up there, man. Damian Gates.
man. Y'all definitely check out Damien Gates. How many beats did he taught you?
He threw me 2 beats actually, man, and actually it was cool because like when I got out, I think as as rappers, we all believe in ourselves, So I'm fresh coming from home, doing all this time, man, and you know, the sound of music had changed. The beats are different now, and so I was a little frustrated, like, damn, man, I'm talking to some of the homies and stuff, and people I know that that's rapping, like, man, give me some beats, let me get some beats, man. And this dude, he just reached out to me, man, and threw me some beats, and I don't even believe he heard me asking for some. He just, he knew that I was from Bannon, and he knew these other individuals who I rap with. Co Loke is one of them. But anyway, the beats he gave me was the beat for the song Relapse, or the song I'm from Bannon, and then he also threw me the beat for the song Everybody Wants Some Cali, and so we got videos to both of those, and so
There it is, man. Damon Gates, man. Y'all look him up. Go to his channel, man. May he rest in peace. Definitely check him out. Definitely got some good beats and whatnot. So yeah. So is there any way that you're going to go ahead and like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you say you're going to remake some of the songs that you did when you was younger, but you think you're gonna go ahead and, like, with them beats that he gave you, for the simple fact that he passed away a little bit, like, you think you can go ahead, like, and use those beats again on a different flow, whatever, like, fill it in with the album, whatever, like, keep using them with, just to keep his name in honor.
You know what? I never thought about that, man, but that definitely is a good idea. That definitely is that definitely is a good idea, man. I can possibly, make another
Like,
song.
make one beat at the beginning, like, each album, like, make one beat at the beginning, like, the album, and then at the end, make the other beat or whatever, what I'm saying, and keep doing it album for album, just
Right.
to
That's definitely
keep the name rocking.
a good idea, man. Or, try to I could go hit his YouTube page up myself and
Yeah, too.
rap over some of his music as well. That's definitely a good idea, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Is there anything else that you might want to bring up that you got coming up in the near future? Any insight on Mr. 16 of Life, aka Chill? Like, anything that you want to tell the people that we may not know you got planned or scheduled?
Not necessarily, man. I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling, enjoying being free, enjoying just being in the lives of those who missed me, those who, who held me down while I was locked up and stuff, man, and just, just enjoying it, man. And also I want to thank, everybody that subscribed to my page. I want to thank you, everybody else who reached out to me in any form or fashion, man, who appreciate, what I do. And it definitely feels good to, have even just 5 people, who appreciate my music, who may appreciate my stories. And so just shout out to everybody.
Yeah, you ain't got no big old interviews coming up, president about to interview or whatever, because I mean, you definitely deserve it. So if it is, go ahead, tell people, man.
Yeah, not that I know of, man, but I'm I'm open, I'm always open to interviews, man. Cats that want to hit me up if for features, collaborations, man. I'm kind of busy, but like I say, if you want to feature, you want to collab, get at me, man. I hit you with a nice price, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I definitely want to holler at you about that too. I want to hop on the feature with you as well. Like, try to get you back in there too. I can definitely see J. Cole calling you though.
Yeah,
trying to
that
get you
would
to
be
hop
nice,
on one, man.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like it. I can hang with the best of them. So yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. All we can do is speak it to existence. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen, pretty much.
Right.
But yeah, look, check it out, man. I really do appreciate your time and whatnot, and everybody that watched this, I don't have too many subscribers. I got like 6 subscribers. So y'all go to my YouTube channel. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna definitely put it in the comments or whatever. Terry Lewis, just go there, subscribe to it. Definitely got more interviews coming up, more content. I definitely gonna get Chill back on another interview. We might put one on Clubhouse, and whatnot. We're gonna talk about it. We might do one, when I come out to Cali or whatever. We definitely gonna link up or whatever. So I'm gonna have some videos dropping and everything, and I do want y'all to definitely go check out my boy 16 to Life, man. If y'all don't know about him, get to know about him. Go to his channel, subscribe to it. Go through them. Check out the music. Like, you're gonna catch the videos before you see the music. Music gonna come afterwards because he got so many videos up there. You definitely gonna end up clicking one due to the titles. Like, yeah, that's one thing I want to ask you, man. Your titles, like, where do you come up with your titles for your videos, man? Because some of them be.
Well, you know, I just kind of like try to think about what the video is, and I try to think of something that's kind of like catchy that'll make people tune in, and I just, you know, I go from there. I think that I've always been blessed with a pretty creative mind, you know, and so that's, you know, like I say, I just do it after I create the video, and sometimes, you know, I may change it due to sometimes when I release my videos, I'll notice that YouTube doesn't monetize them. So initially, I thought it maybe had something to do with the title or something because I didn't necessarily understand the guidelines and stuff. So now that I do, you know, like I say, I just go with a title, man.
Yeah, and I believe it's like they don't want you to cuss like 30 seconds or a minute into the video or whatnot. Yeah.
Right. And then it's also two certain words they don't want in the title. It's certain words that'll get you red flag, like bully, and a few other words. You know, actually, it's a long list of them. So just that type of stuff, you know.
Blanket party, right?
More like booty bandit, you know, probably, you know, pussy, and just, you know, because nowadays, man, it's a different society, man. We gotta tiptoe around everybody's feelings, and you can't say this, and you can't say that. So yeah, it's a little bit restrictive, but you know.
You definitely gotta be politically correct nowadays for sure, because everything's getting looked over. Like everything's watching, everybody's watching always. So yeah, you definitely gotta be careful with your words and whatnot. But look, man, I definitely do appreciate you for this interview, man. And this would not be the last time. I'm definitely gonna get another one with you or whatnot. I just wanna go ahead and wrap it up, go ahead and get some rest in or whatnot. It's get a little later, whatever. And till next time, man, we definitely could maybe do this on Clubhouse. Like, I'll probably be on Clubhouse and be on the stage. And, we ain't going to have, like, we could select, who come up and ask questions or whatnot. I'm going to let other people, like, come up and ask questions. Of course, if they get too disrespectful, we're going to shoot them right down to the goo. Anything that you don't want to answer, you're not going to have to answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we definitely going to take care of that. For sure.
Right.
But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate you chilling. Till next time, baby. Y'all tune in. Definitely go subscribe to his channel, subscribe to mine's, and we definitely gonna be tapping in pretty soon, man. And I'm gonna definitely hit your messenger up or whatever, so we can get that much going and everything.
All right. Hey, for sure, Terry. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you for having me, man. And like I say, once again, y'all check my YouTube channel out, 16 to Life. That's 16DALIFE on YouTube, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We appreciate you, 16, man. Till next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Hey, go ahead and hit him with that. Resume regular program that you like to hit him with, man.
Hey, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to Life. Resume normal program.